on the phone, on the Google Meet. How are we doing? Chef Casey
Good.
joining us now. How are we doing, sir?
Good, good. How you doing, CJ?
Oh, I am hanging in there at 10:35 today and right on time. Man, punctuality. I like it. I like it. So take us through. You've just been named the new head chef. Take us through a little bit of your background that led you up to this role.
Yeah, sure. So I've always been about cooking, and I view cooking as kind of one of those things where it's like the ultimate caring for somebody. We're nurturers as cooks and as chefs. So my career started really early. I grew up in restaurants, family restaurants, and um, yeah, I mean, I just developed a love of cooking, and it's not just about cooking, but kind of like the gastronomy and the thermal action that you get behind it. Like just as a young kid watching how to cook an egg, and like how you get this substance to turn into a solid. I've always been amazed by it, and I've had a lot of opportunities to travel the country. I've been out to Colorado Springs and got to break down a whole bunch of different fish and see that culture out there, and ended up going out to Columbus, Ohio for a little bit and got to work for some nice Michelin star or James Beard nominated chefs and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to be able to be back in my hometown and to deliver some skills and do something creative for the St. Louis area.
That's fantastic. I mean, that is really cool. And I didn't even, I whenever I started corresponding with you via email, that's one thing I didn't want to know about until the interview because I like to learn these things as kind of the audience learns them too. That's awesome. And, I got to ask you, so was there, did you personally have a relationship with Hidden Lake Winery, or did they kind of find you, or did you find them?
Well, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. One of my friends and acquaintances that I've known for 15, 20 years was actually a musician out at Hidden Lake. And he kept whispering in my ear to go out and check this place out. And, after about the third or fourth time of him bringing it up to me, I was like, all right, I'll go see what this is all about.
Nice. And take us through, so for our audience that hasn't been up there yet, and if you haven't, go check it out. It's fantastic. Take us through some of the aesthetics and what makes a Hidden Lake Hidden Lake.
Well, I would like to first start off with the ownership group.
Yeah.
It's just truly amazing
Yeah.
people, very generous, big heart, contribute a lot to the community. Um, Bella Vista and Hidden Lake are both very beautiful properties. We do all of our own winemaking and distribution and making out there. We have a great winemaker, Corey Kunkel, creates some fantastic wines that we just love to cook with. And I'm blessed to be able to be a chef and be able to get my hands on some of this great product that's coming out of that Midwest area.
And I got to ask you this because I'm on HiddenLakeWinery.com, and I went over to the menu, and it gave you a pretty big shoe right here. You're meticulously choosing each dish, and I'm sure you are, but take us through how that works. So how do you pair it? Do you look at some of the wines that are on the menu and kind of try to match that, or are you on a whole different level?
So starting off, we work with the winemaker, and he gives us a lot of knowledge about what pairs great with certain foods and stuff like that. And then utilizing as much as we possibly can, developing relationships with local farmers and local producers and stuff like that. One of our current producers is out of Maryville, Illinois. His name's Greg Puzak, and he does a great job of delivering some really fresh products. So it's just what we can get our hands on at the time and just trying to constantly develop menus and push ourselves to create a unique product.
Absolutely. And I got to ask you, out of all the things you can cook, what is your main, what's your main specialty? Is it a fish? Is it a steak? Is it a meat? What are you cooking if you had the chance every day?
Yeah, so I get this question a lot, and it's always a tough one to answer. But my favorite type of cooking is things that take time to be able to develop flavor, like 42 to 72 hours
Oh,
or
right
anything
on.
really braised. Yeah.
Right on. That's awesome. And I got to ask you, out of all the different places you've gone, just kind of circling back to your background a little bit, was there ever a moment where you're going, you know what, I made the right call to be, to follow this path? Was it, in a kitchen somewhere, just, maybe driving down the road one day going, you know what, I made the right call here?
Yeah. So I always tell my friends and my family that, I'm almost jealous, not jealous, but guilty is a word that I get to do this every single day because it never really feels like work to me. Um, I just knew that I had a relationship growing up with food and being around food for so long. This is kind of my MO the whole time.
That's awesome, man. I mean, that is really cool. And that's what, just talking to you the couple of minutes I've already been speaking with you. I mean, the passion's there. And I can't wait to try out your food because you obviously have put a lot of time and effort into this to make a product that we're all going to love. As far as, just some of the things that are over at Hidden Lake, I wanted to ask you about the brunch. Is that okay? I throw that on you. And I think this is really cool because this isn't your grandma's brunch. This is this is really a bunch of great opportunities, a lot of great meals. Was that something that was already there that you're kind of tweaking along the way, or is that something that you've been developing?
Well, we always throw different ideas at the wall to see what sticks best.
Right?
But
Like the show, just throw it.
yeah, just to see what happens. And we just, we had the platform and the opportunity to be able to try to build a great brunch. Sundays are big wine days and stuff like that. So just utilizing, farm to fresh items with proper cooking techniques and stuff like that to nourish our customers.
I just got to throw it out there. I got to come up there and try these lemon ricotta pancakes. I mean, that that sounds pretty freaking good. And, in terms of, your tenure, when did you take over at Hidden Lake?
I've been out at Hidden Lake for almost 2 years now.
Oh, wow. So you've been,
Yes.
That's perfect. And now, did you recently take that head chef role, or was that something that you got 2 years ago as well?
I've been head chef out there for 2 years.
Wow, that's incredible. See, and that's why I wanted to make sure because I asked questions like that before I asked the real one and made look foolish, So I'm glad I asked that. But over the 2 years, what's been an item? What's been something that you've developed that's been the most most prideful for you over that 2-year tenure?
I would say just being able to establish a culture within for cooks, and one of the problems that American cuisine had faced was kind of the short order cook, where they're not really caring about food that they're cooking for you. It's all about speed and putting stuff on plates and stuff like that. But I believe that we're kind of like at this paradigm shift where we're going back to our roots to be able to establish real cooking procedures and give some of the younger guys opportunities to make this a career. So that's what I would say more that, I think I was able to contribute and just being blessed to be able to contribute that to the younger guys as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's incredible. And wow, kind of made me speechless there. That's a great response because it's true. I mean, I'm so tired of, my whole thing is if I order out and it comes to me within, 4 or 5 minutes, I don't like to eat it. I normally don't. I'll just kind of pick at it and because I don't want Chef Mike. I want the chef that's in the back, and just fantastic. Now I got to ask you, in terms of like relatives coming by and visiting you, maybe friends, is it nerve-wracking to cook for the folks more so than than your normal customers or clientele?
Well, fortunately for my end, my family and friends has always kind of been my guinea pigs.
Oh, nice! I love it.
They get a lot of experiments ran on them to see what was good, and they actually contribute a large part of like my success as well because I didn't go through the culinary school avenue. It was picking up different cookbooks and cooking through them and stuff.
Wow. That's incredible. Maybe I should ask that question to start off the interview with. So you never went to culinary school?
No, there was a time that I was contemplate doing it. It was L'Ecole Culinaire, and it's not even in St. Louis anymore. So I was working at a restaurant in St. Louis in the Central West End called the Escape American Bistro. And at that time, in 2008 through 11, while they were there, it was one of the best restaurants in St. Louis. So my executive chef at that time basically told me, he's like, you're pretty much in the game right now. And, there's no reason to, waste money on tuition for culinary school. So,
well, you're absolutely right. Cause you were doing, I mean, it's one thing if you're just trying to get that, background and learn a couple of things before you indulge into the industry, but you were in the thick of things. I mean, that Hidden Lake has picked up a gem. I mean, for sure. And
Mm.
I got to ask you, in terms of, events coming up, is there any, thing that you guys are keeping your eye out for, like any type of, maybe it's a Sunday of, brunch, or maybe it's a, an Easter thing getting geared up towards that, or even a Mardi Gras? Is there anything you're keeping your eye out for?
Yeah, we actually have our Valentine event out at Hidden Lake on Saturday, and it's a 15 course degustation, which in French it means just small bites. So it's starting at the top with ingredients and making appetizers out of that, moving down to beautiful vegetables and meats and fish and stuff like that, and then finishing with dessert. So that's one of the things that we get excited about because it's kind of off cuff right there, and we get to be creative and really do kind of that New York, California,
Right.
Michelin star style type of food. So
That's incredible. I'm in. I'm in. Yeah. How do we sign? What's the best way for us to get more information on that? Is just hiddenlakewinery.com.
yeah, you can go to our Facebook page or our website, hiddenlakewinery.com, and we have a link through Eventbrite where you can go and make a reservation if you want to come out and see us.
I love it. And I got to ask you this just because, I never get the opportunity to talk to, a for real chef. And I got to ask you, is there times where you like your friends or something? Because I'm the worst, where I'll think, like a regular chocolate cake is like just a chef's kiss of, 5-star at 5-star. And then, my dad's more of the flavor. He has all these different, flavors that he likes and likes the intricate, desserts. Is there ever a time when you try something and, your friends are going, this is perfect? Maybe it's just like a little Hostess cupcake style dessert. And you're going, are you serious? I just made like a lemon meringue pie last week and only took 2 bites out of it. Has that ever happened to you before?
Yeah, it happens all the time. Even with some of the food that I make, where cooking's one of those things where you strive for perfection,
Right.
but you're never going to hit it. So it's just kind of what's perfect, what you're producing at the time. And I have friends of mine that are like, "Oh, this is the best thing that I've ever ate," and it's just like, "Well, I kind of botched it here and there, and all these things."
That's incredible. And that's something I think is so fascinating, because someone that truly knows the crap, knows the science really, like you, is really cool to talk to, because, so many times I think that, we might know someone that makes a really great chili or makes a really great, item, but they don't have the full gauntlet when we go to a restaurant. And it seems like without a doubt, you guys do up there. Now, if I'm going for the first time, you got to point me in the right direction. What would you advise people the first time stopping into Hidden Lake Winery? They want a bite to eat and a glass of wine. Where are you directed them?
I would direct them to one of our weekly chef specials. That's kind of where we utilize and put on point local meats and ingredients and stuff like that. But you also can't go wrong. I'm always a big fan of a smash burger and a fried chicken sandwich as well. So I like to think that we produce a pretty good chicken sandwich and smash burger. So
Oh, man. And I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Look at this. I mean, pimento cheese and Dijon pickle, onion. Local beef is the big thing, because I am so tired of the, I hate to say it, but you can almost taste the freezer burn on a lot of these products that, not say, not any of your competitors, but just, locally at restaurants, you're going, come on, guys. I know everything's getting expensive, but keep us happy over here. And I love it. Out of everything that you do at Hidden Lake, what's your favorite part of the job?
just being able to be a teacher and constantly being able to learn and have the opportunity to be able to create these dishes and get to pretty much just live my dream. So,
Right on. Right on. And Chef Casey, I really appreciate you hanging out with us for about 15 minutes today. And for more information on the Valentine's Day event, which I think is going to be awesome. Is that not sold out yet? Is there a reserved number?
we still got a few openings.
Whew, you better act quick, because that's something that's really, really awesome. And we don't get a lot of that over in this area. I mean, we really don't. And so is the Facebook page, website, hiddenlakewinery.com, is that the best way to stay up to date?
Correct. Yes, sir.
And if you have any time you have a new special or you're trying something new that you want the world to know about, please stop by on the show, because you're a wealth of knowledge. This has been a blast talking with you. And, man, just good luck on the next 2 years, and hopefully a lot longer than just 2 more years, and keep up the great work. And if you ever have anything, just stop by.
Sounds good, CJ. Thank you for having me.
No problem. At 10:50 on this 8th day of February, we'll take a quick break, wrap up our daily show right after this.